Those were protesters chanting at former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn after his guilty plea on Capitol Hill. I'm Josh Carney. Events are speeding up after Flynn pled guilty on Friday to willfully and knowingly making false, fictitious, and fraudulent statements to the FBI about conversations with a Russian ambassador. Flynn is the first Trump campaign official to be charged as part of Special Counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into the collusion between Russian government and members of the Trump team. Indictments of Paul Manafort and George Papadopoulos in the past are signs that the investigation is heating up. Here with me to break down the significance of Flynn's plea are Talking Points analysts Jack Watson and Byron Tollefson. Thanks for joining me, guys.
Great to be here.
Thank you.
Jack, let's first break down why is this plea so significant?
So by pleading guilty here, former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn is basically admitting that a few weeks leading up to the inauguration of President Trump, he lied to the FBI about a meeting he had between himself and Russian Ambassador Sergei Kislyak. Now, he lied, he basically perjured himself, which is the big significant point here that's going to be taken out.
Mm-hmm. And he pled guilty, and he's also, said that he's going to cooperate with the investigation. So what is his cooperation signal for the investigation as well?
So by cooperating with the Mueller investigation, this is basically the first peg here. Mm-hmm. They basically have somebody from the Trump administration, not the campaign, not somebody like Papadopoulos or Manafort, mm-hmm. somebody from the Trump administration on the record lying and basically saying that he lied about meeting with Russian officials. So this is basically the first in what we believe to be a series of many.
And if it's the first peg to fall for one component of the Mueller investigation, Byron, what does this plea mean for the Mueller investigation moving forward?
Well, like Jack said, someone who's pleading guilty involved in the Trump White House, not the campaign, that's definitely huge. Moving forward, you see what Flynn talks. He will fully cooperate with what's going on with this investigation, and we'll see what he says. Vice President Pence, he was lying to Pence about what happened
and that was the reason for his firing.
That was the reason for his firing, but he didn't admit to lying about any collusion or anything. So we'll see what he talks about with other members of the Trump family or the Trump White House, whether Jared Kushner or Donald Trump Jr. So that's huge.
So that direct link between the Trump administration is troubling, considering the fact that James Comey, when he went through his litany of discussions that he had with the president, he recalled that President Trump asked him to go easy on Michael Flynn. So clearly there's a disconnect between what Trump knows and what Flynn know and what the investigation now knows. So ultimately, how is this plea within the full spectrum of the investigation thus far going to impact the Trump administration? Jack?
Well, I believe the administration is going to stick by their people 100%. Moving forward, that's probably what they're going to do. But as we said before, right now, it's going to all depend on what Flynn gives Mueller in terms of names and events and things like that and things that happen. And you brought up Donald Trump Jr., Byron. Trump Jr. was testifying a few months ago about his meeting with a Russian lawyer. So this is one in a series of many possible connections to Russia from not only the Trump campaign but the administration as well.
Right, and considering that that's an element of something that we didn't know, so far long ago, and now this is broken, what are the next chips to follow? What can we kind of expect from this investigation moving forward? Byron?
Well, just like what he said, it depends on what he says about these specific people, whether it's Donald Trump Jr.'s meeting with Russian officials. And what's really interesting to look at right now is the White House's response to this. They said this is Michael Flynn. This is just something going on with him. It's nothing that he said implicating anyone else. This is just a Michael Flynn problem. And that's exactly what they tried to do with Paul Manafort, that he wasn't involved with this White House. His dealings are about tax evasion. So the thing with Flynn is that he was involved. He perhaps might have been given orders by an official. That's what we're going to find out. And that's the big question. Did he receive orders to lie about this?
Right, and given the fact that, he's agreed to cooperate and they're trying to distance themselves from him, in that White House response, do you think that could, be a point of conflict moving forward, Jack?
Well, certainly. I mean, I'm going to answer that question with another question. With regards to Michael Flynn, why lie? If there's nothing to hide, why would you lie to federal investigators about meeting with Sergei Kislyak? It doesn't really make sense. I mean, why? I mean, what's the point? If you don't have anything to cover up, then what's the point in lying about this meeting that was supposedly benign about foreign policy, which is what many leaders who are entering office do to other foreign leaders.
And, this presents a troubling dichotomy between what Mueller is trying to, get out of him and, what he is able to kind of broadcast himself. So it's certainly an issue that is going to be a big problem moving forward, and that not only the investigation, but the entire public will be definitely keeping its eye on. Thank you both for breaking it down here for us. Well, that's all the time that we have on this special edition of a Talking Points webisode. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and CitrusTV.com for clips and episodes. And join us on December 4th for Talking Points' final episode of the season. For myself, Jack Watson, and Byron Tollefson, thank you for being here. Goodbye.